Barbadians, friends, comrades, well-wishers, we are all gathered here tonight as Barbadians and as a Democratic Labour Party family to celebrate the birth of our nation and to celebrate independence. I'm happy for us to be able to celebrate Independence Day. For us to celebrate and recall the history and the creation of modern Barbados on the eve of this Independence Night. 56 years ago, the great man himself, Barbados, our father of independence, in giving of his whole self and his whole life, served and sacrificed to create the Barbados that we now know. His acts of service to Barbados have benefited every single Barbadian in one way or another. Directly or indirectly, we are all children of Barbados. We are all children of his insight, his masterful social and cultural engineering programs. Independence Day is about celebrating that, but it's also a moment of sober reflection to remind ourselves where we have come from and where we need to go. We must therefore constantly recommit to the task of independence, over and over and over again, as our father of independence and our ancestors have done. They never stopped. Generation after generation, they fought to ensure that the justice could flow like a river, righteous like a mighty, mighty stream. Never forgetting the fight for independence was real. Recall that many elements in Barbados, including the then opposition Barbados Labour Party, did not support the move to independence in 1966. The Adams in many ways saw Barbados as an extension of Britain, as an overseas territory. And even though he ushered in universal adult suffrage in 1951, it was not until 1966 that Barbados, under Barbados, became truly free, a truly independent nation. Every single rock, institution, blade of grass, every brick in this country, every school, every community, every family, every household, every single facet of Barbados, unequivocally everything about Barbados, including the Barbados Labour Party, lives in the house, the country that Errol Walton Barrow built. All of them. We are all Barrow's children, including our most recent leaders, David Thompson from the Stewart, Owen Arthur, and even Mayor Motley, all children of Barrow, and especially Owen Arthur, who in many ways wrapped himself in the clothing and policies of the Democratic Labour Party and of Barrow to capture the minds and hearts of Bajans. That is true history. That is the fact. On this eve of independence, we celebrate the vision and the bravery of Barrow and the Democratic Labour Party in forging ahead to create a country, one of the smallest, most independent countries in the world. This was at a time, perhaps, and we are faced with that time again, when many people doubted that a small black country could be successfully managed, that we as an independent people, former slaves, could be independent, could forge our own destiny, could make something of ourselves. And the boldness of Barrow and the boldness of the Democratic Labour Party rewarded this country with a decade of social, economic, and political achievements. The list of achievements is stunning. In that decade leading up to and after 1966, and it should never be taken for granted, or we should never allow anyone hell-bent on rewriting our history for the convenience of partisan politics to tell us that the Democratic Labour Party and Barrow did not do good by Barbados. In fact, it is truth. The period before and just after 1966 are the foundations on which all of Barbados is being built. Barrow and the DLP, the record shows, between 61 and 73, grew our economy by 74.2%. Barrow and the DLP at that time did not engage in optics, but they launched a revolution in housing, a revolution in social care, a revolution in health care, a revolution in education, providing opportunities for every single Barbadian, opportunities so we could prosper. This must never be diminished or taken for granted. And some in our society then, and some now, did not believe that ordinary Bajans, all of you in this audience, could have the capacity for self-determination and to master your own destiny. There were elements in our society which opposed Barrow and the DLP's revolution along the way. Lest we forget, the then opposition did not, as I said, support independence or did not support the establishment of the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill. The records are there. Since then, our society, our economy seems to have stalled. We now face economic insecurity, and since 1981, our economy has grown only by 22% compared to the 74% between 1961 and 1973 under the leadership of our Barrow. We are now faced with a heightened sense of personal insecurity as gun crime and the cost of living crisis stalks our land. I know many of you are tired. COVID, cost of living, crime, systems and politicians bankrupt of ideas and drunk on power. And as we celebrate independence in this increasingly hopeless environment, despite the expensive public relations programs that are now part of our daily diet, let us not look back, not to settle on past achievements, but to find hope. To find hope and inspiration to build a new Barbados, to build a new future. To bring alive the independence dream of those early years of the Democratic Labour Party and of our Barrow. A dream for a prosperous Barbados, a prosperous independent Barbados that provided opportunities for all of our people, not just a select few. Sadly, too many Barbadians are shackled by the chains of poverty. They're shackled by lack of opportunities. They're shackled by lack of chances to become the best of themselves. Too many are strangers in their own land. In fact, many are unable to own anything in this country. They are unable to master their own destinies, while the current administration gives away your land to private developers who should pay you at market rates if they want your land. Our children and our young people turn up at the bank of aspirations and are put in the bank card and it comes up empty. But you must know, you must know, you have the power. You have a rare almighty type power endowed in you from birth as old as time immemorial. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. History has shown us that independence must remind us of that. That is why tonight we hosted this concert for you. This is a special thank you to all of you Barbadians in your thousands who signed our petition to save Independence Day, and for speaking up on the issue to force the government to reverse its decision. This was your victory. This is your thank you. And importantly, it shows us something. You do not have to wait until election day to send a message to the government. It also shows us that even though this Democratic Labour Party has no presence, no seats in Parliament, we will take our role as opposition party seriously, and we will continue to do our best to serve and represent the interests of the people of Barbados. Even though the current administration has won every parliamentary seat in the last election, this does not mean that we all agree with what the government does. It does not mean that the current government has been given a mandate to do whatever it wants in the next 5 years. I refuse to believe that we are a powerless people. I refuse to believe that we cannot be a prosperous country where you live out your dreams. But to do that, we must be vigilant. We must speak out on the issues, and we must hold the government to account. Not just this government, but all governments for the future, now and forever and ever and ever, evermore. The time has come for Barbadians to recognize that they have the power. As I said, you have that special almighty power that you were born with. The power to influence, the power to control, the power to determine what government does. not just this one, but every single government hereafter. Barbados needs to move away from their control by a few special interests to become a truly independent, democratic government that Barrow dreamed of, where all Barbadians can prosper and live out their lives in dignity, not begging a politician for anything, because we live in a just and a fair society. I know that you all are tired of politics. I know. I get it. But I'm asking you something tonight, here in this sacred spot, here in the shadow of this great man. I am asking you to give a renewed Democratic Labour Party, who tonight humbles itself before the people of this country, to give us the opportunity to earn your trust so that you can believe in us again. Give us the chance to come to you and show us what we can do for this country. I'm asking you to trust again. I'm asking you to believe, and I know it's not easy. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know you've been battered and you've been bruised by politicians of all colors, of all sizes, of all parties. But tonight, I humble myself before you and I say, give us a chance. Give this country a chance. Give hope a chance. Give yourself a chance. Give the dream of this man a chance. I am not attracted to politics because of tricks and trickery and promises of power and promise of greatness. I am attracted to politics because I love this country. I want to do good by this country. I want to do good by the people of this country. I know we can be better. I know you can do better. I know you can live out the dreams and the lives that you all should live out. I know that this country can be great again. And I ask you to give us a chance. Give a party, as I humble myself, as I humble this party, before you, the people of Barbados, before and in the shadow and the dreams of this man. My son will be 2 years old in January. And I want him to grow up in a safe, a vibrant Barbados, filled with opportunities, filled with chances, and I want him to get those chances and opportunities not because he is the son of Ronnie Yearwood, not because he's the son of a lawyer, not because he's the son of a lecturer, not because he's the son of a politician, just because of who he is and because there are opportunities provided for all Barbados. Every single son, the son of the maid, the son of the carpenter, the son of the security guard, the son of the clerk, the son of the member of parliament, they should all be equal in this country, and we can have that. That does not have to be a dream. That can be our lived reality. My life was a life of poverty. That is how I started. So I understand what opportunities can do for people. We must get back to the path. We must achieve social mobility, the social mobility that Barrow and the Democratic Labour Party engineered in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And we can do it again. Trust that we can do it again. The renewed Democratic Labour Party has a plan. There is a plan to get Barbados to the right path. And that starts with smaller government. We cannot afford all the ministers and advisors and consultants and diplomatic postings of the current government that have added to the cost. It starts with an accountable government. It starts with a government that believes in rules and law and order. And it starts with a government that will stop wastage and corruption. We want the integrity laws. We want the Freedom of Information Act. We want it now. We don't want it yesterday. And we call on the people in that August chamber over there. We have to tell them that we want it, demand that we want it, challenge them to change, because you are the power, not them. It's always been with you. You've always had the power to determine this country. And I ask you to believe in yourself again. Take back your country. Take back your power. It doesn't belong in that chamber. It belongs in the streets. It belongs in this square. That's where it belongs. The Democratic Labour Party, a renewed Democratic Labour Party, has a plan. It also starts with quality education for everyone. not just free education that this man envisaged and implemented. Ask yourself, Barbados, ask yourself, if Barbados had a smaller government, an accountable government, a government that was not corrupted and about friends and family, and quality education for everyone, would not every single person in Barbados be better off? Tonight, we come to Independence Square to celebrate and recommit ourselves to those early years of the Democratic Labour Party, to those early years of our father of independence. Now is the time to make the dream of independence a reality for every single Barbadian. Now is the time to stand up and shine your light upon the darkness to crowd out and drive it out. Now is the time to put Barbados first again, so that all of us can sit and eat at the table and we do not have to wait for crumbs to fall off after a few have eaten. We as a country, we as a people, we as a family, we are on that road between Jericho and Jerusalem, that new Barbados. That dangerous road that was filled with robbers of dreams, robbers of hope, robbers of life, robbers of opportunity. And now is the time to take back our country from these robbers. People often feel that countries fall with some big bang. There's a big moment and the country collapses. But no, countries fall in quiet moments, in quiet whispers, when the lights go out one by one. When people one by one stop standing up for what is right. When they sacrifice nothing but they expect everything. Catch us, the foxes, or in our case the mongoose, for the little mongoose that ruin the vineyards, or vineyards that are in bloom. Let us all be careful that we do not turn off our soul, that we do not turn off our lights, that we do not turn off those little voices, those little small moments when we know that things are wrong and we say nothing and we walk on by. Let us all keep our lights on. 56 years of independence is but the beginning of this country. There is now work to be done. And for those who have labored in the vineyards, for those who have labored in our fields, for those who have built this country, built this square, built these buildings, built this entire society, we owe you great debts of gratitude. And I want to, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the country, on behalf of this party, I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank all of you ordinary Barbadians, not those with knighthoods, not those with medals, not those with honors. The people who have labored in the fields, the people who have labored cleaning the classrooms, the people who have labored guarding the buildings at night, the people who have labored taking the containers off the port, the people who sweep the streets, the people who teach our kids, the people who police our streets and go home at night for their families. I want to thank you on behalf of this country, on behalf of this party, for your service to building Barbados. I want to say thank you for giving us 56 years as a Barbados. You deserve every breath of gratitude from every single Barbadian, wherever we are. There is now work to do, and I will be honest with you. We have lots and lots and lots of work to do. And some of you may not see the fruits of this labor. You may not see the fruits of this particular harvest. But that is patriotism at its truest. That is what the father of independence taught us. You build things that you may never see. Some of us will labor in the vineyards, but will never drink of the wine. Legacy is not putting your names on things and not putting your names on buildings, but at times it is the unseen work and is the effects long after you are gone. That is what Barrow and these early trailblazers represented. In fact, Barrow famously made a point of not naming anything after him. Our current leadership and our new set of politicians could draw many a lesson from that great man. Independence begins again tonight. We recommit ourselves to our country tonight. We recommit ourselves to the future of Barbados. There's an urgency of this party to get on with the business of building a new Barbados. There's an urgency of this party to show the new politics. There's an urgency to this party to make Barbados that shining city on the hill, to make Barbados a light on the hill. You are a light unto the world. A city located on a hill cannot be hidden. People do not light a lamp and put it on a bushel, but they put it on a lampstand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. This party's great aim, as was its creation, is to serve, and in doing so, make the lives of Barbadians better. I believe that better days are ahead for this country. The country we love, the country that we want to grow, that this country can provide a thriving environment for a struggling middle class, and we can also look after our poor who just need that little extra help or that opportunity to help themselves. It is about hand-ups, not handouts. And we can only do this together. You know something? We always talk about our borough, we always talk about the Dipper in this party and in this country. But the best thing that we can do for his memory, the best way that we can recommit ourselves to independence is that we put Barbados first. We put our country first and we serve. I love my party, I love my country, I see great things for both my country and my party. I want the party that I love to serve the country that I love. It means believing in yourself again. It means believing in Barbados again. And I'm not talking about the kumbaya, hold hands, platitudes, believe in yourselves again. I am talking about faith. I am talking about real belief of things that are impossible, but we make them possible by hard work and by our dreams. Because faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Indeed, by faith our ancestors received approval. Belief and faith will require we get up. We face the challenges of this country and we do better. What are you doing? And I challenge all of you tonight. What are you doing? You vent on social media, but you wait with bated breath for the next press conference to tell us a whole lot of nothing. And nothing will change, while the decay and the rot of the Bajan dream sets in and diminishes further. Well, for too long we have murmured, for too long we have sat in silence. And I want you to get up tonight. I want you to get up tomorrow and the day after. I want you to make your voices heard in this country. I want you to get up off of social media, get up from the corners of your rooms and your houses and your shutters. I want you to stop hiding your faces. I want you to believe in yourself. Stand for something. Stand up for this country. Stand up for independence. Because change will only happen when you demand it. When you demand that you want better. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can bring change to this country. And I want you to join this movement. I'm not asking you to join a political party. I'm asking you to join a movement for change. To make this country better. To take back this country and make Barbados the great place that it can be. And I want you to believe in yourself and believe in the dreams that this man set. Because your country needs you. We need you. And we can walk in the sun again. Happy independence, Barbados. Thank you.